All right, y'all. Today we're gonna talk about how abortion is a direct attack on the Black community. So therefore, why I'm against abortion. Let's look into a couple quick clips. 79% of all Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facilities are within walking distance of Black and brown neighborhoods, while only 12% of the American population is Black. Black people account for nearly 30% of all abortions. Black mothers are being propagandized with false information and deliberately encouraged to abort their babies, especially baby boys. All right, now let's get into the video. All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Don't Be a Viking Podcast, where we talk about family and marriage to increase our knowledge on these topics, to increase the likelihood that we have success in these areas. So, today we're going to talk about why I'm against abortions. Now, I know this is a crazy topic. Folks get sensitive, etc. I'm not doing it from the position that other people probably be saying it from. I'm saying it from a position of it's a direct attack on the family establishment of Black people, Black men, Black women. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Today, we're going to be quoting my favorite scholar, Dr. Wesley Muhammad. So let's get straight into it. We don't want to just lollygag this video alone. In America, between 1978 through 1998, the mortality rate of middle-aged working-class whites declined 2% on average each year, and in that 20-year period, their death rate dropped by 1/3 overall. Between 1999 and 2013, the mortality rate for whites between the ages of 45 and 54 with a high school education rose dramatically. While in other rich Western nations, the steady decline of white mortality rates continued on pace. In America, the wealthiest nation on the planet, the mortality rate of middle-aged working-class whites ceased to decline, and between 1999 through 2013, the death rate remarkably reversed, increasing 0.5% each year. Soaring rates of drug and alcohol abuse due to heightened economic insecurity and frustration is considered a culprit. Between 1999 and 2013, epidemic drug poisoning increased sixfold in the white middle-aged demographic, especially with painkillers such as OxyContin. But a purely economic explanation doesn't hold up. The shocks to the U.S. economy over the past few decades have affected poorly educated Blacks and Hispanics just as much as they have affected whites, arguably severely more. So why do death rates rise among whites? Asked John Cassidy. Indeed, during this time, the Black and Hispanic death rates were doing something very different. The mortality rate for minorities in the U.S. continued to fall between 1999 and 2013, mirroring the trend in Europe, and the African American death rate in particularly fell huge. Despite the cloud of death that this government and its agencies and that this society ensures hovers over the Black community in America and every Black life, we're going to skip that part because we don't want to get shadow banned. Despite all the Black death and carnage that we bring upon ourselves, despite all of this and in the midst of all of this, the death rate of the Black man and woman decreases while the death rates of whites increases. So among whites, Hispanics, and Blacks, the Black American population has the greatest decline in mortality rate, 2.6% decrease per year. That's ours. The Hispanics got a 1.8 decrease per year. For whites, theirs going the opposite direction and a 0.5% increase each year. 79% of all Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facilities are within walking distance of Black and brown neighborhoods, while only 12% of the American population is Black. Black people account for nearly 30% of all abortions. As we saw in the Boston XYY case, Black mothers are being propagandized with false information and deliberately encouraged to abort their babies, especially baby boys. Now this is why I'm saying I'm against abortion. Like I said, I really don't watch these videos when folks have these type of debates because it really be filled with a lot of ignorance. But I know I'm not saying um I'm trying to punish the mothers or punish the fathers or whatever folks be saying. I'm saying it from the fact that we already got a lot of attacks placed on us in the black community. So we don't need to help them with the attack on us by willingly participating in getting rid of our own babies. What would this look like in real life? How would we apply it? I don't know. I heard some folks say, I forgot who said it, but they were saying the adoption list is pretty long and the abortion list is not as long as the adoption list. So that might be a alternative, like give it to another sister or another brother who like can't have kids for whatever reason, maybe too old or whatever, they reproductive system just not as healthy or whatever the case may be. We can figure out the ways we can implement it later. But first, we need the information on, is there attacks against us? Yes. Is the abortion one of the attacks? Yes. So if you know somebody attacking you, everybody would say, yeah, I don't want to get attacked. Yeah, I'll fight for my freedom. Okay. So if we can identify this as one of the attacks, fight for it. Fight to not get attacked, not let nobody win a fight over you. It's that simple. So, like I said, this came from my favorite scholar, Dr. Wesley Muhammad. We're gonna cite where we get the information from, and he cited where he got the information from. So I'm sure I already did, but make sure I put that stuff on the screen. Now, there's a lot of stuff I can't say. There's a lot of stuff I won't say because I don't want to get shadow banned. I don't want my account to get deleted. I want to keep growing, to keep reaching as many brothers and sisters as I can to feed them this type of information. So if you want the raw and uncut information without having to leave this out, leave it out, either leave your email down in the comments or I'm going to put my email in the description. Hit me up. Let me know you're trying to get the real, raw, uncut information. We're going to really go into depth, really say everything we need to say. But I ain't going to send everybody everything individually. Instead, send me your email or hit my email up and I'm going to add it to the email list that I'm collecting. And when I get enough people who interested in the knowledge, I package the knowledge, send the knowledge out. And I'm doing it in that way because I'm like, bro, for one, to save me time, I ain't got to send everything individually. And I need to know if I know it's enough demand for the information. I got to see if I'm creating enough demand for the information to come from me before I do that. You feel me? So if you're interested in it, leave the email or hit my email up. We're going to get into it. I appreciate y'all chopping it up with me on this episode of the Double Bill Viking Podcast. I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Yes, sir, Ski.